and welcome to the Veggie Kitchen. I'm your host Ed. We're coming to you from Orange County, California. Today we're making up the Veggie Kitchen version of a tofu spinach quiche. Stay tuned, veggiekitchen.org. Welcome back. Today I am making a tofu spinach quiche. Generally a quiche has eggs and cream in it, but this is a vegan version. I'm using tofu as the base. That's going to replace the cream and the eggs. I'm also having spinach and onions, herbs and seasoning. It's all going to come together in a whole wheat crust. I started already with the spinach and onion. I sauteed them and I'm letting them just cool down a bit, and now I'll start with the tofu. I had a block of tofu, one block of extra firm tofu. You have to use your handy dandy food processor in this episode. So I've got my tofu in there and I'm adding my spices. I'm using a veggie broth today. I bought this at the natural food store. You can buy it in the bulk bin. If you can't find it, you can use a vegan bouillon cube and just crush it up. I've got that, and I have nutritional yeast and a little cornstarch. And for my herbs and seasoning today, I'm using an Italian seasoning, and I bumped the flavor with some marjoram. Marjoram has a nice sweet taste. I had a ratio of 1 to 1 on that. A little bit of salt, just a skosh. Not needing much salt because we are using some soy sauce today in this. Soy sauce is really cool. Do you know soy sauce has glutamates in it? There's this product called monosodium glutamate. It's a chemical. They use it to enhance flavors. Soy sauce naturally has a glutamate in it, so it kind of bumps the flavor. And plus, as I said, you can cut down on the salt you're using by using soy sauce. I think this is done here. This sauteed for about 5-10 minutes. What I did is I took the bag of spinach, I just put it in a colander and rinsed the ice off of it. I tossed it in here with the green onion. A little olive oil on the bottom. I think it's done. Okay, let it sit. Okay, back to this. The tofu, as well as the seasonings, the yeast, they're all in the processor. I'm just going to whip it till it becomes really smooth. It'll be pudding smooth. I always comment on this part. Now it's so loud to me. I don't know how you hear it, but wow, it rings my ears. Okay, a little more. One more hit. One more. Okay, there we go. What I'm going to do now, off camera, is I'm going to put this into a mixing bowl, and then I'm going to add the spinach and the onion in here and puree that up so all the consistency is very, very smooth. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, I took the pureed tofu out of the food processor, and as I said, it came out to be like a nice pudding consistency, and it got a nice yellow golden color to it. That's from the nutritional yeast I put in it. So this is like a pudding type consistency now. Happy with this. I took the sauteed onions and the spinach from the saucepan. I have it now in the processor because I want this also to get nice and blended so the consistencies match. Okay? So, one more time with this, and this will mix really quick because the vegetables are warm. One more time to get the onions a little smaller. Okay, we're good. So taking this now, I'm going to just gently fold it into the tofu mix. So this was a block of tofu, and as I said earlier, it was 1 pound bag of frozen spinach, and I used about a 1/4 of a large yellow onion. So this will make more than enough to fill the 9-inch frozen pie crust I'm using. I'm using a whole wheat pie crust. You know, I went to the supermarket and I checked it, and they had the whole wheat pie crust and the regular pie crust, and the prices were almost the same, so what the heck. At that point, I went with the whole wheat one, and there was less ingredients. That's how I always tell. Read the ingredients. If you got a paragraph of ingredients, and one has a line of ingredients, I usually go with the less. The pie crust is still frozen. Look at the swirl, see? That's it. Nice color, green, little swirl of brown through it. Okay. This is going to go in here. But first, I'm going to put a little squirt of spicy brown mustard on the bottom. Y'all got me. That's about a tablespoon. I'm going to spread it evenly across the bottom. Gives it a little nice flavor. This is all going to bake for about 30 to 35 minutes. Okay, all good there. And now the mix. This comes out to be a nice light consistency. And it holds together really well too. It cuts really nice. Tofu is cool if you haven't used tofu before. If you're a beginner vegetarian or just a regular person eating, you see, tofu is not just for vegetarians, but it's really great for vegetarians because the tofu has all the essential amino acids. And there's zero cholesterol, very low saturated fats. Just a really versatile product. And if you really don't know what tofu is, it's actually from soybeans. Okay. And I used an extra firm tofu. You could use a firm or an extra firm tofu. Tofu comes in different consistencies for different things, you know. And when we added it all in the blender, you notice there was no extra added liquid ingredients really. The tofu has enough water in it to have the cornstarch hold it together. I didn't have to add any extra water. And the spinach had liquid in it too. It looks like we're going to get the whole thing. Hang on, here we go. There we go. Less talk, more work, huh? Okay, I'm on it now. Here we go. Camera person's giving me the sign. Speed it up. Here we go. See, I still have to do this. You're not going to get to eat it. You're just watching me, but I still want it to be really perfect looking. So I'm just going to fan out the tofu to the edges. Good, it worked out just right. And on top of this, I am adding some sliced mushrooms and some sliced cherry tomatoes. Really simple. It only took a few, like 3 or 4 mushrooms is all it took. Just going to cover the top. And I'm going to just dot it with some of these cherry toms just for looks and for flavor. See, looks, you know, it's got to look good to eat, right? That's part of eating, is the appeal. A couple here. And what I'm going to do for the mushrooms, so they have a little bit more flavor, is I'm going to baste them with some olive oil. So when they cook in the oven, they'll get a nice glossy tone to them. Nice brown. So the oven's at 375, okay? 375, and it's heating up now. And we're going to try for 30 to 35 minutes, see what we get. A skosh of paprika on top. Alright, we're good. Set this on top of a baking pan, a cookie sheet, essentially a cookie sheet, okay? In the oven, we will come back and check in about 30-35 minutes, and we'll see how it looks, okay? VeggieKitchen.org. Okay, it's been about 35 minutes and we're done. I just checked a second ago, so we're ready to pull it out of the oven. Here we go. See this? This is the vegan tofu spinach quiche. I'm going to let it cool for about 10 minutes. Then I can start cutting it, okay? This is a great dish. You can try it for dinner, breakfast, lunch, anytime. It's great. Simple to make. I hope you'll try it. The recipe will be on our site. That's vegiekitchen.org. As always, we thank you for watching. See you soon, okay?